Hi, hello, and welcome to the first video in my week of Gilded Nirvana here on my channel. So as you know, Pat McGrath Labs have released their holiday collection, and the palette featured in the collection is called Gilded Nirvana. So I'm going to be doing a few consecutive looks with the palette. If you're interested, I've already done a demo look and a bunch of comparison swatches with this palette in my first video, which I'm going to link up here for you. And in addition to that, I'm going to create a playlist where I'm going to put all of my Gilded Nirvana videos for your convenience. So as you can see, I want to keep these videos really short and sweet, so I've already done the rest of my makeup essentially, and we're going to immediately start off with the eye look. The other thing I wanted to mention is that since a lot of these eyeshadows really strike me as a type of colors that need to shine individually, I feel like a lot of the looks we're going to do are going to be rather simple, more like one and done looks with little touches of something here and there, mostly because I feel like a lot of these shades really need all of the lid space in order for you to be able to appreciate all the duochromes and the dimensions, because I think you will be surprised how much more depth and dimensionality a lot of these eyeshadows have than meets the eye. So to get the look started off, I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Mauve Mystique here. Mauve Mystique is a mauvey purple with a gold glitter in it. Unfortunately, I don't think the gold glitter is going to stick, especially not to the capacity that I'm going to use it in, which is going to be to just very lightly here carve out the crease. I don't want to have this shade appear to be too dark. I really just want to use it for a little bit of contouring before we go into Golden Lurex. So I'm just going to very lightly fluff it in here, and as you can see, there's literally no glitter left on my eyelids, so I do not understand the point of this eyeshadow, nor any other matte eyeshadow that has glitter in it for that matter, but okay, that's just me. I know there are a few souls out there who do enjoy mattes with glitter. You will have to tell me exactly how you get the glitter to stick on your lids, because I've never really had a matte eyeshadow with glitter particles that actually stuck on my lids. Next, I'm going to go straight into the shade Golden Lurex, and I'm going to apply a light layer of that onto my lid. And I've already worn this eyeshadow, full disclosure, on Friday, because I wore this exact same outfit and more or less this exact same eye look on Friday, but on that day I really just did not feel like filming a video. However, I wanted to come back and do this look because this eyeshadow, I mean, obviously we're going to do a look with this eyeshadow eventually, but this eyeshadow is so much more complex than you can see through the swatch, and I'm not even entirely sure that I will be able to show you on camera all the shifts that this eyeshadow takes, because I did not anticipate. I thought this eyeshadow was a simple duochrome. It's not a duochrome, you guys. It is an actual multi-chrome eyeshadow, because when you look straight or you shift your head a little bit in certain lighting, you see this like brick red pinkish base with the golden green glitter. However, in certain lighting, when I was in our bathroom the other day and I was washing my hands, and all of a sudden like the daylight came from this side, and I turned my head and I realized that besides these shifts, what this eyeshadow also does is it shifts a little bit like VR Fire Opal to that more blue based mint green. So you know how VR Fire Opal, I also showed that in my demo swatches, VR Fire Opal has much more of like a cooler green mint shift to it. And on the swatch you absolutely cannot see that this eyeshadow does the same thing, but in a certain light you will absolutely catch that shift going on in this eyeshadow as well. So this eyeshadow is so much more complex. Next, I'm going to take a somewhat fluffier brush, and I want to put just a little bit of something here in the outer corners, and I think to that end I'm going to take the shade Cherry Noir here, so this one here, and I'm going to apply a very tiny bit of that in the outer corners to see how that works. That is actually not a step that I did the other day, but I was really missing a tiny bit of depth here in my outer corners, so I figured maybe we can try to use Cherry Noir for that, because Cherry Noir I think has a somewhat fitting tone to it. Okay, well, it works, but I'm going to add just like the absolute tiniest bit. I don't want this shade at all to overtake the look. I just wanted to add a little bit of definition. And by the way, if you didn't want to go as dark as Cherry Noir, what I did on Friday actually is I just applied a little bit more in a concentrated manner the shade Mauve Mystique. So just the shade that I had through my crease, but applied a little bit more in a concentrated manner and not too much blended out, and that actually worked out really well. I think Cherry Noir has a much deeper base to it, so it adds quite a bit of smoke to the outer corners, unlike Mauve Mystique, which keeps things a lot more, you know, PG rated. But I wanted to try Cherry Noir because I was curious how it's going to work together with Golden Lurex. Oh my god, Gilded, Golden, I'm so confused. Next I'm going to take a little bit of my NYX glitter glue to apply in my inner corners and a very light layer on my moving lids, just so we can reapply Golden Lurex. Not that Golden Lurex really needs to be applied over a glitter glue, honestly, absolutely not. In fact, you can apply Golden Lurex as a one and done shade and you would be a happy panda. You wouldn't need any other shade. There's so much going on in that one eyeshadow that you absolutely don't need the help of other shades. But I figured since we want to, you know, play around with as much eyeshadows here as possible, I will apply a few other eyeshadows surrounding it, but I think on quite a few occasions I'm probably going to be just using Golden Lurex. I'm going to go back into this shade now and just apply it with my finger over the glitter glue, and of course that will intensify this shade and amp it up quite a few notches. And gosh, I am really sad that I don't think you can see the flashes of the cooler green mint shift. I will try in a little bit when I am done to do like sparkle moment and show you this shade, like try to shift my head in as many angles as possible for you to possibly see the shift. But unfortunately, I don't think it's a shift that you can catch easily on camera. Anywho, on my inner corners I'm going to pop on a tiny bit of Pink Venus here because there's really no other shade that would work here as an inner corner for me. I did try to apply Platinum Bronze, but as expected, Platinum Bronze was just a little too dark for me to be applied as an inner corner shade. I'm not crazy about Pink Venus as an inner corner highlight for the shade. I think a gold works much better. And in fact, on Friday when I wasn't filming a video, I used my, I think, highlighter, or I grabbed the gold shade from Luminous Legends to apply in my inner corners because I just wanted to have something that fits the look slightly better. But of course, since we're strictly working with Gilded Nirvana this week, I wanted to show you what this look would look like if you just used this palette and nothing else. You can shear out Pink Venus a little bit to make the gold shift be a bit more prominent, I guess. And finally, on my lower lashes, I'm going to apply a tiny bit of Mauve Mystique here towards the outer corner of the lash line. And towards the inner portion, I'm going to run a tiny bit more of Golden Lurex here. Alright, let's see where we can get with a bit more of artificial lighting. And I'm going to try to shift as much as possible here for you to catch those glimpses of the mint green. Gosh, I really hope you can see it. It was so surprising and so stunning when I saw it in the mirror, and I thought, that is not what I expected from this shade. And here is the final look, a little bit zoomed out. You can't see it, but I'm wearing a pair of dark brown jeans. So of course I had to pair this look with the Burnt Umber mascara from Lisa Eldridge. On my lips I'm wearing my new refill from Louis Vuitton. This is the shade Sable Rose. And I don't think I'm going to say much more about it because I think I want to make a short video just focusing on this lipstick so that we can talk about the color, do some comparison swatches, and just focus simply on this lipstick because it is so incredibly beautiful. As you can see on my lips, I really like the color. I wanted to mention what I'm wearing on my lips because I knew you would be curious, but I'm not going to say more about it. So final look, like final first look with this palette. I have to be completely honest with you. On Friday, when I used mostly Golden Lurex on my lids and I had very little else going on, I actually think I enjoyed the look slightly more. I don't know that I liked the addition of Cherry Noir so much. I think Cherry Noir has like its own glitter and duochrome things going on, so I feel like it is almost distracting from Golden Lurex. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this. Of course, you haven't seen the look where I just did Golden Lurex, although if you go to my Instagram, I have a picture of it there. But personally, I feel like for me, the look that I created that was a lot simpler on Friday worked a lot better. The other thing I wanted to mention is that to me Pink Venus doesn't really quite work as an inner corner highlight for this look. I feel like on Friday when I had a pure gold on my inner corners, it worked a lot better. Like the tones felt so much more coherent and cohesive and worked well with each other, and I feel like now there's a bit more going on and it just looks a bit too crowded. So that brings me back to what I was saying earlier, that to me a lot of these eyeshadows are one and dones. You don't have to work harder than just put that one eyeshadow on your lids. You can of course play around, put more, layer them with each other, but honestly I think with most of these shades you are good to go if you just put the one lid, blend it out, pop something in your inner corners and be done with it. Anywho, I said I was going to keep this short and sweet, and here I am rambling again. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course we will see each other again tomorrow to do look number 2. As usual, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!